From Los Angeles, California, we're the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Oh, hello there, friends! And welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who seems to have misplaced his pants and underwear, but has definitely placed his boner into his thrusting hand. That's Jeff Clark.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me.
And transmitting to us from Caesar's Palace, the man who floats like a butterfly, but it stings when he pees, Shuddy Boy.
Yo, I appreciate that one.
Did you throw up in your mouth a little bit there?
Me?
Yeah, I thought I heard a gross.
No. Nope.
My bad.
You had a burp chart. Shuddy has been texting the group text, the MSPH poo chat, with videos of him boxing. And I don't know what reaction you're fishing for on those, Shuddy.
I was mostly just, the first one was a goof. That I had no intention of it really going any further than that first one and only time in the ring. But I have been going to the boxing gym to work out.
And this is all new since the last MSPH, correct?
This is all new.
This is Shuddy Boy's newest obsession?
So maybe.
Because you always seem to have one in the chamber.
It wasn't supposed to be. So a situation arose through Big Acai where I visited the boxing gym. And we can go into that more behind the paywall if we would like.
Okay.
So I went to the gym to meet a boxer and his manager on Wednesday. And then they said, if you want to come back tomorrow and go through a workout, go for it. So I did that Thursday. And then they're like, everybody's been so chill there, so nice. Like, it's weird. I was terrified that time I went to the boxing gym with you before you bludgeoned the hell out of shit toboggan.
Yeah.
But they welcomed me. Everybody welcomed me in with open arms. So I went and did a 3.5-hour workout on Friday.
Jesus, 3.5 hours. Shuddy,
3.5 hours.
You're a 42-year-old man.
How
did that treat
took
you?
Me
I'm
until
I'm 40.
It took from I got home at 12:30 on Friday until yesterday morning. I could barely walk around the house, and bending over was a problem.
Oh, yeah, there goes your weekend.
Because they did not take it easy on me, and I didn't quit. So
You're not gonna make me bend over.
There's only 3 minutes in a round. So you win.
That's my boxer name, Ben Dover.
Well, no. So I did 20 minutes of jump rope. I ran 1.5 miles. I pushed the 150-pound sled up and down the gym.
A sled? Now, is that a name for a piece of equipment, or are you pushing a literal, Santa's sled?
No, it is.
It's a sled with weights on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. I'll show you.
I mean,
I'll look up
I'm a
something.
moron when it comes to a lot of things, but exercise is one of my glaring moronic areas.
What?
Yeah, I know a few things. I've tried, I tried kettlebell workouts before, and I know you're supposed to swing them, but I don't know how you're supposed to swing kettlebells without whacking yourself in the nuts with your forearm every time, so I stopped doing it.
So
Oh.
it's something
Okay.
like this where you put the the plates from like a bench press set,
Okay.
on there, and then you push it. But
That's
the
cool.
sled weighs 50 pounds, and then they put 90 pounds of weight on it and had me running up and down the gym with it.
Was it fun? It sounds
No.
kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun in the sense of it was a much better way to work out and easier to stay motivated than doing the kettlebells at home like I've been doing. But it was fucking hard. I was huffing for air almost the entire time.
Yeah, because you still
Just
smoke
completely
ciggies.
drenched in sweat for approximately 24 more hours.
Oh, look at this big swinging dick motherfucker. Are you quitting?
I am.
Do you think it'll stick?
Well, I hope so. Sharon's quitting and she went the Chantix route, and I've gone the weaning myself off route.
Is Chantix
so tomorrow
the
we're-
patch?
No, that's the medicine, the pill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean-
heard that works.
When I quit
It
smoking
does,
cigarettes,
and that's why she did it. But I'm down to, I mean, today I've had 3, but yesterday all day I had 2 cigarettes yesterday. And 2 the day before. So
you're almost ready.
I'm practically there. I have 5 cigarettes left, and that's
Oh man, that means Jeff, we're about to get bitchy Shuddy Boy. So, to everybody in the Puminati, it's like California waiting for the big one. We're long overdue. Shuddy Boy, when he quits smoking cigarettes, he's probably going to quit the show like 4 times.
Well, listen, I've got a better outlet now that I'm doing physical activity. So maybe it won't be that bad. It has been a minute since I've quit, though. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, snowboarding and boxing. You're a 2-sport athlete.
Yeah, you're no longer Shuddy Spice, you're Sporty Spice.
Jump rope is supposed to be like one of the harder workouts you can do.
So on the first day, on Thursday when I was there, that was the thing that I was most self-conscious about doing in a gym full of boxers, jumping rope with ease. I was never good at jumping rope, and so I'm like there starting to jump rope, and I'm like doing my arms are like, and they're like, no, just the wrist. I've got the hang of it, but it's killer on your calves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was never good at jump roping, even when I was a little kid. I couldn't do
You
any
didn't
of that
just
shit.
jump in air and like do the movements at first?
No,
Oh, you went straight to the rope, huh?
went straight to the rope,
Okay, all right.
straight to the rope.
So you went in, the first video is you went to meet with this boxer, and then they were like, hey, since you're here, why don't you throw on some gloves and just start taking shots at the actual boxer, right? The guy who's training for a fight?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
So you start throwing shots at him.
He's he's going to have his first pro fight in June. So he is way too advanced to be sparring with me. So it was just a for funsies thing where he was just defending and
So after that happens,
showboating.
they were like, hey, why don't you come back and do some real training?
Yeah, why don't you come work out? I was like, sure, fuck yeah.
Now, was that like a one-time invitation, or are they like, hey, how about you just keep coming here all the time?
No, it's going to be ongoing.
You getting any sort of kickbacks? Any hookup, or are you paying full price for a boxing gym? Or are you pleading the fifth?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay. So how many days a week are you going to start doing this?
I'm going to go 1 or 2 days a week. It's really, I'm not trying to actually box. Like at this moment, it is just for the workout.
Because I feel like this
You are-
audience, the Puminati's going to be like, hey, Shuddy, I'll challenge you to fight. Why don't you fight me? People are definitely going to want to spar with you, I think.
So I'm not looking to, but they keep saying, we'll have you sparring in 3 months. And I'm like, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
It's dumb. I'm just trying to learn offense, not defense.
So that video I sent you earlier, or not earlier, on Friday, that was another kid that is an actual fighter. So they got me in there just to for him to goof around with. And they said to him, don't hit him hard, but pop him in the face a few times so he gets used to it. So they're really under the impression that they're going to make a fighter out of me.
I mean,
you're going.
Yeah.
I got up and jump roped this morning. It's a lot of fun. It's hard.
I'm just picturing you doing double Dutch with
neighborhood kids.
Yeah. Lollipop, lollipop, 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm glad you found another new hobby, Shuddy. It seems like you've got a full plate, so something must have gotten bumped off the docket. Like, is He-Man shit off the table now?
Snowboarding got bumped off the docket.
Behind you still.
Yeah, I guess nature just took care of that one for you. So now you're just subbing in some boxing shit.
And that's honestly, I went in when thinking that I'd have no problem with leg exercises because of snowboarding. I literally, it hurt to sit down. It hurt to stand up. It hurt to walk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you are hitting different muscles.
Yeah, it was. I had a very simplistic view of what boxing is.
Yeah.
I think the best conditioned best conditioned athletes in the world are boxers. I mean MMA too, but same difference. Combat fighters.
Yeah.
Not that I diminished it, but I always thought it was just a case of who could hit harder and who could get hit harder, and it is way more involved than that.
Oh yeah, it's like a chess match. So
they call it the sweet science.
Shuddy, do you get stoned before you go to the gym?
I'll take a couple. I took a couple puffs in the morning, but then no ciggies, no more than that. Just a quick little and lots of caffeine pre-workout.
All right. I mean, when I was boxing and stuff, it is like I remember when I had to fight fucking Will Pendarvis, and that was, a battle for my soul to not have to eat onion rings off of a man's boner. I had to last a first round, which somehow magically went from a 2-minute round to a 5-minute round, and by the end of it, I was fucking thrashed. Like, I couldn't breathe for the rest of the night. Like, every breath hurt and was wheezing. Like, I had to pass off on getting some nookie because I was all fucked up from it. Pendarvis had to, get on oxygen right in the ring.
I remember. I was your cornerman for that fight.
I did punch a booger out of his head, which was cool. It bounced out of his nostril and landed on his cheek, and I was like, because I had my mouth guard in, but I was like, ooh. And then he got me right in the ribs. But it just absolutely exhausts the living shit out of you. So, I know what that next day thrashing feels like. It is not pleasant.
Yeah, it was rough. It was really rough on Saturday.
Well, I've been doing what I can to get on the exercise bike more and do, a few hundred push-ups a day. Because I did lock in a theater for a quote-unquote premiere for the second coming of John Cooper. And I know I'm going to have to take a lot of pictures and stuff, and it'll be a very important day, a day that I remember, and I would like to be as less jowly as I possibly can, because I notice a lot, when I have lost a little bit of weight, but I do have some supple breasts, and my muffin top is still there. So you know, sometimes I think I look good, and then I see myself in a picture, and I'm smiling, and I got these big fucking chipmunk cheek, and my, you know, that sack that frogs have under it. I get like a frog neck thing going. It's like, god damn it. So I'm trying to. I've got. Let's see. It's April 1st. I've got like 5 weeks to shed a little bit of this flubber. And God knows I don't have the fucking self-control to eat better. God damn it. I try, but then it's just like, I mean, I see how people get addicted to heroin. I can't stop eating ice cream. And ice cream is not heroin.
They keep, one of the things they said to me was that I need to stop eating carbs. And every time they said that to me, I looked at them like they were fucking crazy.
Yeah,
you guys don't mean that, right? You're just kidding.
I guess this is your way of telling me I don't belong.
But yeah, I got a theater book for the premiere, even though there's about a week and a half still left in post-production. So fingers crossed everything stays on schedule. But very pumped about that. Now comes the nightmare of getting the guest list put together and sending out RSVPs to the cast and crew, and then seeing how many people respond, and then how many open spots I have to, you know, get in. Friends and family and all that. But it's also like a little nerve-wracking, you know? I do, in a way, feel like a dog chasing a car who actually caught one. It's like, oh shit, now what? I made this thing. Now a theater full of people are going to watch it, and then it's just like, oh shit, what if people don't laugh?
Is that what your biggest concern is? Is that now that this is the realization that people other than you and editors are going to see it start to finish?
Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, it's more exciting, but there's definitely that thin layer of underlining wrecked nerves. Because it is it's a big swing. If you miss, that's a big meatball hanging out there.
I am confident that it is going to be fantastic, but on the, I would say, 0.0000001% chance that it's less than that, I'm going to leave Jeff to make all the comments.
Oh, it's Jeff to make fun of me for having a shitty movie?
I'm just going to remain silent and be supportive to you. Jeff can handle all the hard talking.
I will say this.
The leveling with you.
You know, we shot a 100-page movie in 13 days with a teeny tiny budget. And for what we pulled off, I think the jokes are definitely there. You won't run the risk of watching a comedy and not laughing, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with. Everybody's put on a comedy movie and not a single joke has landed with you, and you're just like, I essentially just watched a boring drama. A comedy with no jokes. You know, what's that? But there are definitely moments where even if you're not feeling the movie, I guarantee you'll laugh a handful of times. So I know it's got that going for it. Another big pinch me moment happened when the Letterboxd D page for the Second Coming of John Cooper went up. Which I know it's like a very nerdy thing, and even to this day when I talk to people, there's still so many people that are like, what the hell's a Letterboxd? Or rather, what's a Letterboxd D? But for me, for somebody who uses that app like non-fucking stop, to see my thing pop up there is just so fucking cool. That was like one of those pinch me moments where I was like, wow, I got to just like live in this moment for a little bit and just appreciate it.
Yeah. What was the process of getting it on there? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it have to like get approved by the app or whatever?
I don't know, because I always kind of figured that it would aggregate from IMDb, but there's this other site called the Movie Database, which is basically TMDB, and it pulls from there instead of IMDb. And it's a real motherfucker of a process, too, because I was kind of hoping I could just do like a plug and play since the IMDb listing for the movie is so full. I was like, all right, maybe I can just, there's like a link or a code I can copy that'll just populate it with that information. There isn't. I had to do it all person by person. A lot of people don't have pictures up on there, so I was trying to get pictures of people up just so, you know, the cast list isn't just a bunch of, you know, like Twitter eggs. And that whole thing is a fucking nightmare. It's like, it's so finicky about the image dimensions and stuff that all this shit just kept getting kicked back. It's like, nope, that's not the proper ratio. And it's like, well, can you tell me if I'm fucking hot or cold? Like, right or wrong is not much help. I sat there for hours resizing images, re-uploading them, and it's like, nope, rejected. So a lot of them I was just like, I don't know what the fuck this fucking website wants from me, but I can't get it. But I think what happens is every 24 to 30 hours, Letterboxd sort of refreshes and then just pulls whatever new is there. So that's kind of how a movie ends up there on the old D, the old Letterboxd D.
So is it on the D or is it not on the D?
Oh, it's there. It is there. I saw a lot of people in the Puminati have already added it to like their watch lists, and they've given it a heart, which, you know, we play the Letterboxd D game a lot on this show, and we're always kind of flummoxed as to how certain movies are higher than other ones. And I've looked at some of the cast's pages, and John Cooper has already jumped up a couple spots, so it's not like their least popular project. So I think just a combination of people putting it on their watch list, throwing it a heart, putting it on lists, all that shit helps the popularity of it. So every now and then throughout the day, I'll just open it up and pull the listing up and be like, oh, man, that's so fucking cool. Can't get over how fucking cool that is. So yeah, there's your John Cooper update. I guess there's until it sells, there's not going to be that many more updates. So I guess I can just kind of fill you in on the rest of the timeline. Friday, the sound team, I went in person with the sound team and helped them line up all the score cues and background music and stuff. So that's all set. They've mixed all the dialogue. The Foley / sound effects have all been put in but haven't been mixed. And this week, all that stuff is getting mixed. We're getting a link on Friday. Me and the producers, we give a whole bunch of notes. Tuesday, we go in person to watch the movie with all of our notes put in place. We give another set of notes, go in person again on Thursday, and then granted everything is where we asked it to be. Friday, it gets sent back to the editor. The editor mixes everything down into the final product, and then we have to get a... Oh, God, what's it called? I think it's called a Man, I sound like a real fucking idiot. A DCP, I think? I'm going to Google this real quick. Yeah! I did it! A digital cinema package. So when you show a movie in a theater, it has to be converted to a digital cinema package, and that's how they project it in high def, I guess. So it's not like we just get the MP4 or the .mov of the film, send it to a projectionist, and they just do that. We have to go through the whole process of getting this fucking thing made, which I think can take like a week or two. So again, everything kind of has to line up on schedule in order to make the premiere date. So it's been
no pressure.
Been a little stressful, a little bit, but it's exciting. It's exciting. This is the home stretch, and then after that, just got to sell this motherfucker, and then it's on to the next one. Fingers crossed.
You have an idea of what the next one, like what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have an idea, but is it like mentally locked in stone?
Yeah. So I'm about 16 pages into my next script.
So it's a new one. It's not one that you've had in the chamber.
No, I'm gonna let those be. So if it does if this does open some doors and people want to make more things that I've written, like I've got the classics, I got the hits, I got Iron Lung, I've got Zombie Beach Party, I've got like a couple other ones, one or two that aren't even all that polished, but a first draft is at least done. But this one, I think you guys would like the premise of this one. It's another like comedy mashup type thing, but I want to rush the first draft and get it registered because it's an idea that I can't believe hasn't been done yet. So I'm trying to every time I have like a free moment where I'm not working on like, there's 7 shows we do a week for Patreon and stuff, and then the John Cooper stuff. I want to race through this thing and get the first draft registered just so I can fucking camp on that idea. But anyway, Shuddy, you also mentioned that you had like we were trying to decide what we like better on Biggie albums, Ready to Die or Life After Death. And you mentioned you had something similar to discuss this week.
I do, yeah. I was listening for my Patreon, blog series, Wax of the Week. I was listening to Life After Death because last week was the 27th anniversary of it, which means it was also, it's been 27 years since Biggie was killed. But there's a song near the end of the 2 discs called The World Is Filled that has Diddy and Too Short in it.
The world is filled with pimps and hoes. I'll just talk about those I know.
Yep, that's the one. And
the world is mine. Can't you see? I'm just trying to be all I can be.
Damn. I mean, he could do it right before your verse.
I mean, he did really, because right after that, it goes into Diddy's verse that I've never noticed before.
Oh, have certain news stories put these lyrics in a new light?
Oh, let me read them to you. Now, first come the cash, then come the ass, then come big blunts with big chunks of hash.
Yeah, remember
when I
that
score
one.
With a whore, she be game for sure. Pimp so hard, a ninja drag his mink on the floor. That's the first one.
There you go.
That's the first one. Won't you admit it? I ain't got to talk because I live it. Any chick fucking with me, believe me, that's a privilege. I won't be satisfied till all my ninjas get it.
Oh, you think when he says all my ninjas get it, he means his dick?
Yeah, but just wait. See, you hit it, then I hit it. We get it back to split it.
Oh, yeah.
You had the thumbs up going.
Yeah. Zoom was like, we agree.
And Big B, that ninja, we be flying through your hood and hood rats scoping with their eyes on my goods. See, we date them like we hate them. See them like we don't need them. Rat keeps picking it up on my phone.
Rat's like, this MF spitting fire.
Treat them like we need them and never give up freedom. And we only give our numbers to selected few. And it's best that you never knew what good head'll do. Turn a freak to a bisexual. And if she's flexible, fuck the ninja next to you.
Man, I really thought you were going to miss saying ninja on that last one.
That's the one that I was most worried about.
Me too. Wow, it's crazy. Like, as you were going through those lyrics, like, the song just started playing in my head, and I was like, I know this entire verse. Yeah,
it's one that I just listened, never really paid attention to, and in light of recent things, it's like, ooh, maybe...
I mean,
maybe he's been doing this for a while.
Laying some breadcrumbs.
I mean, I still remember, like, there was one lyric when Mace became a preacher. I was like, Mace is a preacher. I mean, doesn't he have a lyric that says, if she makes my nuts itch, I'll kill that slut bitch? Now this fucking guy's going to read the Bible to me? Give me a fucking break. Come on.
Like he got out of that pretty quickly in defensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now he's doing you've never seen the Cameron podcast? Him and Cameron are do a podcast together. Have you seen this? You've seen it, right?
Which I can't wrap my head around. It's a sports podcast, right?
It's like a sports culture podcast. They have OJ Simpson as a regular guest, just weighing in on sports topics. They call him Uncle O.
Here's one of the greatest murderers of our time.
Yeah, I think Cameron has known murderers before, so he's forgiving, apparently.
How many like big name rappers? Because just about all of them, there's only like a handful of rappers that are like, you know what? There's enough violence and sex and like, you know, just sort of bad morals in hip hop. We're gonna have like positive and clean lyrics, you know,
sinners, if you will.
Not even clean lyrics, but just like, you know, we're not going to talk about violence and say like it's cool to kill people if they piss you off and fuck bitches.
Are you making a pro Macklemore argument?
Oh God, no. I was thinking more like
I mean, what are you looking? I don't know. What are you looking for?
Like
De La Soul.
Yeah, like De La Soul. Common. Common's got like positive lyrics, right? Or no?
Yeah,
sure.
Common.
Sure.
I would consider Common conscious rap. That's what. Oh,
that's the term for it. Conscious rap.
Yeah. De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest,
Chance the Rapper. Maybe not conscious, but
Far Side.
You
can play him with Mom in the car.
Oh yeah, Far Side. Yeah, Far Side makes sense. Yeah, you know, there's
Queen Latifah.
There's rappers like that, and then there's rappers that are like, yeah, I've killed 5 million people. You piss me off, I'm gonna kill you. I kill that guy, I'll kill you, I'll kill him, I'll kill your neighbor just because I wanted to kill him. Like,
doesn't really rhyme, but all right.
How many of those people do you think have actually committed murder? Like, I know everybody was kind of like, yeah, I would not fuck around with Mobb Deep, even though I know Prodigy is now dead. But do you think Mobb Deep ever killed anybody for real?
No. King Von did.
Well, that's like stuff that's been proven, but like, you know, rappers that talk a bunch of shit, but it's actually like, yeah, that guy, he actually has killed a few people in the hood.
Like, who do I think is the most? I mean, Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane killed someone, but he got off for self-defense. He has like Gucci Mane has one of the craziest hip hop stories ever. Shuddy, are you familiar with it?
Not. I know who Gucci Mane is. I've never heard Gucci Mane though. That I know.
I kind of like his music, but he had a beef with Young Jeezy back in the day, and Young Jeezy's associates, and I think Young Jeezy planned a kidnapping of Gucci Mane at a strip club. They got like a stripper to get him back to her place, and a couple of his homies were waiting there with guns. They tied him up. And we're going to take a video and send it to Young Jeezy. I think that's how the story goes. They're going to take a video and whatever. While he was tied up, he got out of the restraints, got one of their guns, and killed one of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, they did remember that shit, which we're kind of doing, or we kind of did last week, just talking it out. We didn't actually play the songs. And you were a part of it on my one podcast, Fade the Media, way back then. But remember the versus shit they did in the pandemic?
Yeah.
They had one with Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy that got really fucking awkward because like Gucci Mane's like, I killed one of your men. What's up? Like, had it been pre-internet days, like there would have been a fucking shit. Like someone would have died in that room for sure. And it was crazy. And like, I forget how like Young Jeezy tried to like diffuse the situation, but like he pretty much took the approach like, yeah, I was back in our wild crazy days. And Cooch Man's like, fuck that. Like I had to kill my way out of a situation. Like I'm not dropping it. But it's like one of the craziest hip hop stories ever. And yeah, he got let off for self-defense because all of this shit was documented.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I did see something because we were talking about Diddy last week, and I saw that Suge Knight said something about, like, we're about to get justice for Tupac. Did you see that?
Well, that's so the rumor has always been that guy that they arrested was put up to it by Bad Boy.
Yeah, he got paid $1 million to shoot Piggy. Or
No,
Tupac,
shoot
excuse me.
Tupac.
Excuse me, yeah, Tupac.
That guy that
But
just
now-
recently went to court about it? Or recently got
Yeah,
charged?
did he
Yeah,
die too?
Did he?
Oh, well,
I thought he died. Like it all
Google it.
happened recently. Like, he was charged recently. I'll look
I
it
can't
up.
remember the dude's name.
Let me see.
Tupac.
He's arrested.
Last thing I see,
Keith D.
yeah, suspect in Tupac murder case granted bail. I just saw that in a news story from January.
Yeah, no, I'm tripping then. No, he wasn't. He's not dead now.
So the theory is that because of the chain incident, somebody's Bad Boy chain got stolen
Yeah.
by Tupac's crew, by somebody on death row. And
Okay.
so that's why. And
There was a
then
label beef.
Diddy hired this guy to shoot Tupac over that. But now, who shot Biggie?
Fucking beats me.
That's a cold case. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
As far as I know, last time I checked in, they had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, are they only worried about who shot Tupac, or are they still trying to find out who shot Biggie?
Well, this guy he wrote a book about it, didn't he? Or like it was in a book. Like they didn't investigate. It was pretty much emailed to them like, hey, this guy's bragging about shooting Tupac.
Well, he's been bragging for years that he was in the car with the shooter
Right.
and would never give up the shooter. And so it looks like he was actually the shooter.
I mean, didn't they just get the guy that killed Grandmaster Jay?
I think so. I think it was like this month not last month.
Yeah, it was March when they arrested the dude who killed Jam Master Jay, who ended up being a friend
Yeah.
and cousin.
I mean, hip hop's a fucking dangerous business to get into, man. A lot of people get killed, and even if you survive, it seems like just nature gets a lot of people. Like, I think who's the guy from Gangstar? Is it Guru?
Yeah.
Well, it's Guru and DJ Premier.
Yeah, Guru, I think, died of like leukemia or something. Prodigy from Mobb Deep, I think he died of sickle cell.
Yeah, I mean he had sickle cell his whole life.
Yeah, and like
True
who's
from De La Soul. What's the dude from Tribe Called Quest?
oh yeah, Fife.
Yeah, Fife Dog.
I mean,
They
and
all
then
died of medical problems.
you've got like I mean Coolio and
Young.
DMX. I'm sure you could just chalk that up to poor lifestyle decisions, but still died very, very young in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, Adam Yauch from
Yeah,
Beastie Boys.
Yep. Yeah.
Who's-
Adam Yauch, huh?
How do you say it? I haven't
Yauch.
said. Yeah, whatever.
Adam Chalk from the Beastie Boys.
Who's the oldest rapper?
It's like, Jeff, when you slam the car door on your finger, you're like, yoke! The oldest living rapper.
Well, I mean, some of the guys from Sugar Hill Gang are still alive. I'm pretty sure DJ Kool Herc is still alive.
I mean, some of
Okay.
the Wu-Tang guys got to be getting up there. But, I mean, ODB,
I mean,
he's
Jizza's
gone.
in his 60s. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that
Hold on.
is...
That can't be right. That can't be right.
I feel like
That can't be right.
60s is like way past rapper life expectancy.
He's 57. Jizza is 57. He's the oldest member of the Wu.
Man. Protect that man.
He was just a week and a half ago. He was in Philly
I saw him live like 5 years ago.
with his
I'm missing much, fortunately.
the Funky Nomads, his live band.
Man. Well, there we go.
Have you,
looking back on Diddy lyrics. Woo.
Do you cover hip hop beef, Shuddy, on Shuddy's Wax of the Week?
Only when it's relevant to something I'm listening to. It's just basically album reviews and little anecdotes of my experience listening to them.
You haven't followed the Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole thing?
I have not, but funny you mentioned that, because for this week I wanted to go with as much various gangster rap as I could. And I am listening for the first time to Pimp a Butterfly.
Nice. That's Rob Sprance's favorite Kendrick Lamar album.
So so I saw something. Again, it was just like some social media post that I saw on the surface and didn't dig further into, but it was something about Eminem years ago giving a warning to Drake saying, like, one day they're going to fucking come for you, man. And then it was like, and current day, all these rappers have now unfollowed and disassociated themselves with Drake. So are people now thinking he's a cornball, or what's going on there?
Oh, I don't know about that. That's not what I was talking about. I mean, he's like so successful. He went on like a fucking 10-year run. He might still somewhat, like, he's probably coming out of it, but he went on like a Tom Hanks, like Michael Jordan run, where he made like $50-60 million per year and dropped like an incredible amount of hit records. But no, I was just referencing the Kendrick was in a song off of Future and Metro Boomin's new album called Like That, and he dissed J. Cole and Drake, kind of Drake, definitely J. Cole. Because J. Cole in a recent song called First Person Shooter rapped that it's him, Drake, and Kendrick in a big three. So Kendrick said something like, "There is no big three, it's only big me." And had some other lines. Yeah.
I like that.
Kendrick will do that here or there. But he needs to come out with a new album, a good hip hop album, because I don't like his most recent. And I love J. Cole, because fucking J. Cole is a St. John's grad. Dude, one of my college roommates played Halo with J. Cole when we were
no shit.
Yeah, when we were freshmen. Yeah. Fucking sick. I played basketball against him, but like
against J. Cole?
Yeah. But I didn't remember. He wasn't J. Cole at the time. I didn't pick up on it, but I was told after the fact, like years, like, oh yeah, he used to play at Taffner. That was like the pickup gym that would play basketball at.
Yeah.
But so I want to root for J. Cole, but I like Kendrick more as a rapper, and the diss was hard. I like that whole album actually, but.
Well, we've gotten a lot of hip hop news.
Yeah, right. Well done, fellas. I'm proud of how we handled all those subjects.
Would you gentlemen be interested in some news of a different variety?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you having a good day? Well, I'm about to ruin it.
Oh, no.
This is Droopy's bad news. Oh, hello there, gentlemen.
Hello, Droopy. We were not
Hey,
expecting you. Very nice to see you, sir.
Well, you can't have a discussion about your favorite rappers without mentioning me. DJ Jizzy Droop, as they call me.
Was in a war you had bars, Droop.
Yeah. When these hoes see my red rocket coming... Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna stick to the stories. Did you...
I was really hoping for the exclusive Droopy freestyle. That's a bummer that you pulled out of that, Droop.
Yeah. Thought there was gonna be a couple bars there. I was excited.
Now you got to pay for the full thing.
We might get that might have gotten us featured like on XXL Mag, Droopy
What
drops.
rhymes with Red Rocket? We can get there. Damn it.
Uh, Toad the Wet Sprocket.
All right, yeah. Let's stick to the news.
Okay. A 59-year-old man in Pennsylvania was sitting in his home last week when his neighbor entered. The neighbor, Zach Moyer, was wearing a scream mask, and then he pulled out a knife and chainsaw and killed him.
Oh,
Wait, the person wearing the scream mask killed the
Yes.
occupant, or the occupant saw the guy in a scream mask and then cut him up with a chainsaw in defense?
No, the intruder wearing a scream mask pulled out weapons and murdered this man in his own home.
that's truly
That's
horrifying.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Did
a
they
hell of a
ever
way to
find
go
out who
out.
that was?
Lots of people watch those scary movies, but imagine Ghostface just coming in and actually murdering you. It's a hell of a
Yeah.
final image, huh?
That would be absolutely terrifying, obviously, before dying. But, like, what the fuck? Drew,
So-
do you know if they caught the guy?
Yes. The man in the scream mask, after he killed the man, surveillance cameras show him walking out of the back door of the residence, walking across the backyard, and then entering his own home. It was his actual neighbor.
Now,
When he got back home,
Did-
he sat down on the couch and put on a movie. Most probably Scream. That would be my guess.
Probably
Did
like La La
he-
Land or a fucking musical.
He did a
did
Barbenheimer.
he
Yes, Shuddy?
did he eat any of his neighbor?
No, there was no cannibalism. At least none was reported. I believe he just committed the murder. He got what he came for, went home, and just enjoyed the film. But he was promptly arrested. They interviewed this man's family, and the killer's sister told police that her brother had mentioned wanting to kill this neighbor in the past. So, he follows through.
So were
Yeah,
there
it was
any other
word.
people in the house, or how quickly did this all get resolved?
They didn't really say, but I believe he was arrested that night. The man who was attacked and murdered, they did rush him to the hospital. So, they came that night, but he did die at the hospital. He had defensive wounds on his hands and arm, so he was trying to block the attacks. But he did get fatally stabbed in the head. It was a massive cut right above his right eyebrow. I do have to say, though, this killer's kind of stupid because Ghostface, I don't think he ever really brandishes a chainsaw. He got his killers mixed up.
He did. He did.
Doesn't know
He
his
definitely-
movies.
What an idiot.
Do you think the cut on the gentleman's head was from the? You said it was a chainsaw and a machete.
They didn't specify, but a knife. It was a knife and a chainsaw.
Okay, so the wound on his head. When they say a massive wound, do you think that he took a chainsaw to the skull, or a hack from the knife blade? And which would be worse?
In
to
all,
take, do
in
you
all
think?
honesty, Shuddy Boy, I was as hungry as you are for more details, because I imagine it's hard to whip around both a knife and a chainsaw. I imagine you'd need to double-hand a chainsaw. So unless this guy was very strong or good at multitasking, it appears the fatal wound in the head was a stabbing. But I believe
mean-
you could, if you really wanted to, stab somebody with a chainsaw.
Imagine him flailing about with a chainsaw in one hand and a knife in the other, like one of those unable to control the chainsaw very well, just kind of going around the room comically until he finally accidentally hits him in the head.
I mean, yeah, I think if you're faced with a similar intruder, you have to activate Jackie Chan mode and try to throw like chairs at his feet or a banana peel, and hopefully he slips, and then one of the weapons that he's carrying murders him instead.
Like in Smoking Aces.
I believe you remember that movie better than I do, Shuddy.
The guy has a
Jeremy
chainsaw
Piven.
and he swings it around and he misses and he ends up coming so far around that he cuts himself in half.
That's pretty awesome.
So, was that with Josh Hartnett and Jeremy Piven?
And Ryan Reynolds, Alicia Keys, Common, Chris Pine,
I remember being underwhelmed
Andy
about that movie.
Garcia. I really enjoyed it a lot.
I might have to give that
But-
one a rewatch. Well, in other news, a 34-year-old man in Colorado has some very interesting pets. Jeff, do you know what a Gila monster is?
A Gila monster?
Yes.
No. I would say actually pigs are big. I was going to call it a big pig. I don't even have a guess at a Gila monster.
Do you want to guess if it's a mammal or something else? Is it
I'll
a
guess.
is
I was going to guess mammal, yeah.
It's not pronounced the way it's spelled. It's spelled Gila. So it looks like Gila monster, but I believe it's pronounced Gila. It's actually a lizard. So, not a mammal. It can grow up to 22 inches. And it also happens to be venomous. So, when one of the man's pet Gila monsters bit him, he was rushed to the hospital for treatment, where 4 days later, he died.
Wow, dude. Wait, when you told me what kind of animal it was, it broke up on my end. What is it?
It's a lizard.
Gotcha.
Oddly enough, bites from the Gila monster are usually painful, but not fatal. In fact, there hasn't been a death from a Gila monster since 1930. So, talk about your bad luck.
that is bad luck.
I mean, I guess that's how you end up in my news brief.
Yeah, there's no lucky people in Droopy News.
Nope, just you, the listener. Animal control was called to the man's house, where they also found 26 spiders of different species. So I have a feeling, Jeff, you would not want to go over to this man's house for coffee.
No, I'd rather put on the screen mask and pay him a little visit.
Not to disparage any of the Puminati in case, but spiders are a weird pet to keep.
I mean, I had one. You remember that, right?
I don't remember. The only pet I remember other than Gizmo and Razor is Smokey.
Oh, yeah. So I actually, because I had Smokey was my Colombian red-tailed boa that I got. And it was when I had my first apartment when I was like 20. And, you know, we had parties there every single night. And some people were afraid of the snake. So sometimes I would have it like wrapped around me at parties and people wanted to hold him or interact with them or just see him from a distance. And some people were scared out of their fucking
I would just
minds.
not go to that party. Fuck that.
Yeah, there was my one friend, Crystal, she could not be around the snake. So, like, if she saw it, it wasn't even like, oh no, a snake. She was like, there'd be like a pile of smoke in the shape of her, and then the wind would blow it away and there'd be nobody there. She would be home 10 seconds later. So I would always just leave it in my room in his cage. And if we, like people, like, you know, we would have smoke sessions in my room sometimes, and there are a few people where I even had to put like a blanket over his glass case so people couldn't see him. But I made some joke about how like the next pet I got was going to be a tarantula, and I was just going to see how many fucking creepy animals I can keep in my room. But it was a joke. I don't like spiders. They freak me out. I don't kill them. I will, like, in a very cowardly way, try to trap them in something and then throw them out the window.
As you should, because spiders are vital to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I'll murder the fuck out of a spider.
See, I'm not a spider murderer, but I am frightened of them. So this girl that I was dating, I came home from work one day, and she was like, "Happy birthday!" And there's a fucking tarantula in my room. And I was like, I don't want this. But I had to, like, it was my girlfriend, so I had to be like, "Yay, thank you." And when I would go and buy feeders for the snake, I would buy these little, Tupperwares of crickets. And I would just fucking open the lid, dump them in, and shut it real quick. And that was my whole interaction. I made sure the spider had food and water, and that was it. I was going to keep that thing alive, but I didn't want to pet it. I didn't want to play with it. I didn't want to take it out. And after her and I broke up, I know she got it from the same pet store that I get my feeders from. So I just brought it to them one day, and I was like, "Take this. Like, I've been taking care of it for a few months now. I'm scared of spiders. I do not want this. I'm not asking for a refund. Put it back in the fucking inventory and resell it." And they're like, "Okay." So they just took
a happy ending for you and the spider.
Yeah. Man, that fucking thing. At one time, I don't know what was going on, but it just wasn't hungry. So all the crickets that were in there just started fucking. And then out of nowhere, it just became filled with baby crickets. And I didn't have to go to the pet store for a really long time because it was just eating them as it went. But it was also like a deafening symphony of crickets in my room at night. So until he started really thinning the herd, it was tough sleeping.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, that was not fun. Chiba, R.I.P. Chiba the tarantula, probably. He bit
How
one of
does
my
Droopy
friends.
feel about spiders?
Huh?
Oh, they're delicious.
How many years do tarantulas make? You said R.I.P.
I mean, that was over 20 years ago, so I'm sure that thing's dead.
Okay.
Let's
Maybe
see.
not. I don't know.
A female tarantula can live 20 to 25 years.
Maybe
A
not.
male only lives 7 to 8.
Well, I never checked for a dick or a pussy, so I don't know. Chiba the spider could be still alive.
If Chiba the spider is still alive, it's safe to surmise that Chiba is now living under an assumed name.
Probably, yeah. Went into witness protection. I actually, man, speaking of that story that Droopy did, I got fucking bit by a lizard once, like a big lizard. I don't know if it was a Gila lizard or a Gila monster, but
Well, where were you?
Trust.
I mean, I was at the original Sirius XM LA studios, and I got bit by a whole bunch of animals that day. And after I got bit by this big lizard, the room started spinning, and I got really nauseous, and I had to lay down on the couch, and I couldn't sit up. I was couch locked for hours.
How big was it though? Wasn't that a monitor? Wasn't it a big lizard? Because the Gila monster only grows to 22 inches, so that's like that.
I do believe it was bigger than that.
Whose idea was this?
I mean, it was on the Ellis show.
Oh.
And this dude, Donald Schultz, used to bring all these cool animals. Like one time he brought this enormous frog, and Aerosmith was in the same building as us, rehearsing. Like they rented. It was like a band rehearsal space that they just let us use the back closet for.
Aerosmith. Those are the guys that did the Armageddon soundtrack. Am I right?
The one and the same, yeah. So apparently Steven Tyler saw all the animals getting brought in, and while the show was on and I was call screening, Steven Tyler just walks back. He's like, "Hey man, I heard you got some crazy animals." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you want to see some of them?" And he, without missing a beat, was ripping the lids off of these cages and just bare hand grabbing these fucking giant animals. He had this huge fucking frog that you can't even hold with two hands. And he's like picking it up and shoving it in his face. I was like, oh my God, this dude's out of his fucking mind. Anyway, I'm sorry. Droopy. I didn't mean to steal your spotlight.
Okay, now Droopy's pissed.
I'm just going to bottle my rage up and press on. Finally today, a 39-year-old woman in Connecticut who never knew her true lineage due to the fact that she looked absolutely nothing like her father. She decided to take a 23andMe test, which revealed her actual father was a fertility doctor who used his semen against the family's will to impregnate her mom. And the test revealed that she has at least 22 siblings and counting from this man.
Fuck. That's like that. It's like the opposite version of that one doctor who killed all the patients, like 150 patients or some shit, like a big number. This dude just impregnating people.
Oh, yeah. And the biggest revelation to come out of all of this is the fact that she fucked her brother.
Whoa.
Fuck, dude.
As she was looking down the list of siblings she has due to this doctor using his own semen, she found out one of her relatives is a guy that she dated in high school. And they did, in fact, go to the bone zone. So,
that's a very traumatizing experience for this young lady. I guess she reached out to her brother?
I believe she is quite angry and disgusted. So anybody out there who, if you're listening to this and you're having a bad day, just remember it could always be worse.
Yeah, you didn't fuck your brother.
Yeah. Shockingly, most states don't even have laws against doctors doing this. So even when cases like this pop up where the doctor gets busted, it's usually a long, difficult road to bring any sort of charges against a fertility doctor secretly using his own sperm for impregnating his clients. At least it wasn't
just looked down upon. It's not really illegal.
Yes, that's correct.
I guess this morning.
I think we have an audio sample from that doctor.
I guess this morning.
And there you have it. This has been today's installment of Droopy's Bad News.
Thanks, Droopy.
I aim to please. Much like that fertility doctor.
Man.
Hold on, Droopy.
I mean, if you find that out, is that something that might be one of those things I'm just going to keep that to myself. I'm not going to call some girl that I hooked up with in high school and be like, hey, by the way, we're related. Bye!
Yeah, I wouldn't bring it up either. Well, I mean, don't you kind of have to, in the sense that, like, that guy deserves to know who his real father is?
I mean, well, what about you? If you hooked up with some girl in high school, you don't hear from her for 20-something years, and then out of nowhere your phone rings, and she's like, hey, I just did like a 23andMe test, and we're brother and sister. Oh, that's hot.
Do the Joe Dirt. I'm your sister. I'm your sister. I'm your sister.
Would you want to know, Shuddy?
I mean,
if you fucked a blood relative, I might just be like, fucking ignorance is bliss. Just let me die
ignorance
happy.
is bliss, but knowing would prevent it from happening again.
You mean like going back for seconds, 25 years later?
A lot of not old people, but people that dated when they were younger, they do tend to reconnect as older folks.
Yeah, that's what Facebook is for. But,
Uh,
like, let's say this girl finds out and she's looking at your Facebook page and she's got the mouse hovering over a message. You want her to follow through and let you know. Because, I mean, the only way you guys would hook up again is if she was into it. But she already knows the truth.
It's hard to say how I would actually react in that situation. You didn't know that you were related when you were fucking, so finding out later doesn't mean you necessarily did something wrong on purpose.
No, but now it's all fucking gross.
Well, I mean, it's always gross. Just as whether or not you have the
you have all the information.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what I want, I guess I would not want to receive that call, would be the answer to your question.
I think I might be with Jeff on this one.
If it was me making the call, I feel like I should have to make the call. Right? Does that make sense the way I said it?
Yeah, I guess it's almost like, if you find out you have an STD and you hooked up with somebody recently, like, it's going to be a rough fucking call to make, but you got to do the right thing. But, like,
hey, we liked each other, but we just couldn't really figure out what that was. Well, it turns out we're brother and sister.
Yeah. You know why we were so compatible? Because we're related.
Yeah. Want to come over for Christmas this year?
I mean, come on, it's not that weird. The fucking royal family's been doing it for generations. Everybody thinks they're cool.
Yeah, now they all have cancer, so...
Oh, you think that might be it? It might be cancer of the inbred loins?
Well, I don't know. King Charles has pancreatic cancer.
Oof, that's a bad one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the one that got Swayze.
That is the one that got Swayze.
Oh, brutal.
Too soon.
Fucking brutal.
Too soon.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, shit, I didn't mean to fucking drag us down like that.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, on a brighter note, the great Cheech Clark has crossed into his 30s.
Yeah, 30.
Oh, shit.
Baby Cheech, a baby no more.
Yeah. The boy becomes a man, I think, is what he said.
Yeah. I mean, Cheech's gatherings, they're always a fun time,
Was it? It's already been a year since
Pukegate?
Yeah. Wow.
Since Upchuckgate?
Well, but he also, prior to that, was having the night of his life.
Yeah, he had a fantastic 29th birthday. His 29th
I feel
birthday,
like
his 30th should have been.
He had a nice, curvaceous woman to dance with that he was dancing with the last time. Is that not correct?
I'm not sure about her curves, but she was urban. Cheech was celebrating diversity, as I do Thanksgiving. Or as I did on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And, I missed Cheech's birthday last year because Carl and I were in Japan. So when Jeff hit me up and he was like, yeah, we're going to go see Dave Attell for Cheech's birthday, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Carl and I are in.
Yeah.
You guys went and saw Dave Attell opened by Jason Ellis?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Thanks for cutting straight to the punchline, Shuddy. But
sorry. I'm sorry. Well,
we had
what happens when we don't have meetings to figure out what we're going to talk. I apologize.
I don't understand how the fuck you knew that when we didn't. Like I like the tickets were just like Dave Attell.
Yeah, we had such a big party that we couldn't buy all the there was like 9 of us that went to the show, or 7 of us that went to the show. And so Kevin had to buy his own tickets for him and Carl, and we bought 5 for our team. And neither one of us saw who else was on the set list or whatever.
It didn't say. It just said Dave Attell at the Brea Improv. And then while we were at dinner, I was like, hey, does anybody know like who's opening? And Bill thought it was Ian Fidance. And I was like, all right, yeah, I know Ian. that's a cool lineup. Because I mean, we've done that one time when we bought tickets that was billed as Anthony Jeselnik and Tiffany Haddish. I was like, that's a fucking cool lineup. And we go to the Improv. This was the Hollywood Improv, and Anthony Jeselnik did 5 minutes, and then Tiffany Haddish did like an hour. And I think that was it, right? They were the only two comics.
No, we were talking. I think David Attell showed up actually.
David Attell, so formal.
Yeah, sorry. Well, after that shit he pulled this weekend.
I mean, I don't fully remember. I'll be completely honest. I do remember we were all just shocked at how short Jeselnik's set was, and he even seemed like bummed out in his material. Like he referenced it, like saying he took the gig thinking it was like a co-headlining thing, and like, well, fuck, now I'm here and I'm doing like 10 minutes.
I mean, it was billed as he was the headliner. I felt duped. I was fucking pissed. That's the last time I've been to that. It was the Improv, right?
Yeah.
It's the last time I've been to the Hollywood one. But yeah, this past weekend was the Brea one. So yeah, I had no idea who was going to be on what other comedians were performing.
Yeah.
But
same. And we get there.
That was weird.
Like,
did you?
The opener, the host, I thought she was really good. I mean, all the comics were good.
And Shuddy, did you pick up on? Do you still follow Ellis on social media? Is that how you knew?
Yeah, that's how I knew.
Oh yeah,
gotcha.
I guess that's
Makes
where.
sense.
I guess that's where the crack in this story came from. Us not following Ellis anymore, because like, I mean, we sit down and after we had dinner. The potheads of the group all got in a circle and we smoked a joint and drove over to the venue and plopped down, and I was nice and toasted, ordered some drinks, and was right where I needed to be. And the comics were great. Like I thought that host, I thought she did a great job. All the other comics were really good. And the host comes back out and she's like, all right, this next comic, he's a pro skater. And I was like, oh, what? And I'm like, oh, I grab fucking Carl's shoulder. She's like, and he's also a pro fighter. I was like, oh, my fucking heart sinks. She's like, and he also does a show with Tony Hawk. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Ellis. The entire fucking table just turns and looks at me. And I was just like, oh, like my fucking heart sunk. I was just like, what are the fucking odds? We go to like one comedy show, drive all the way to Brea, and Ellis is somehow fucking opening. I couldn't fucking believe it.
David Tennell was on Hawk versus Wolf. That's how I knew.
I saw that as well. So like when they called him up, when he was like, as they were calling him up, I was like, this kind of makes sense. Because maybe it was just as simple as like, hey, my guy, I had someone drop out. You're doing comedy. You want to swing down to Brea? When they were doing the podcast, it was that simple. Yeah. But yeah, no, I stood up and booed. I was like, fuck this.
Did you really?
No. I'm not trying to get my ass beat. I mean, I don't like them, but no, I don't want those problems.
So how did it go?
I mean, it was fucking weird. I mean,
did he see you?
No. I've never been to that venue before, and it's fucking massive. Yeah. And it was sold out, and we were way in the back, so there was no way he would see me. But when the show ended, I got the fuck out of there as fast as I could.
Dude, I went up and I went to the bathroom in between like maybe his set and a Tell set, and the back booths are where the comedians and their guests sat. He was like 5-10 feet from you.
What? Really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he probably saw you.
Because I mean, I went and took a piss at one point too, but I wasn't like scanning the room when I came back. But I took the long way and walked along the whole back wall instead of in the by the audience, not in like the separated hallway. So if he was sitting back there, I probably did walk by him.
Well, Tell did this thing where he called all the comedians on the stage, and they did like this, like kind of like a roast thing, and they all just made fun of each other. That was like one of the big portions of a Tell set. So Jason Ellis was probably backing bouncing back and forth from stage to the guest section of the back booth. But yeah, dude, I saw him back there, and you were on the furthest end of the table, closest to him, and yeah, you were like 10 feet away from him.
Oh shit! Well, I did not know that.
But he I looked a couple of times, and he was like, laughing, having a good time. I'd assume he didn't see you either, because it would have been awkward for both of you for sure.
Oh yeah. Like, Steph even said to me, Carl, she was like,
Ooh.
what would you have done if, like, I don't know, on the way out, you guys like walk past each other?
Oh, dude, that would have been crazy if you guys were in the bathroom together at the same time.
Oh my God.
You ran into each other at the bathroom.
I mean, I told her, I was like, I literally would have just been like, complete fucking coincidence, and just walked away.
Oh man, that shit was a trip though.
So wait, you saw him? So when you walked by and saw him like sitting down, that was after he had already gone up and done his act, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was sitting down watching a Tells act in the back booths, and I went to the bathroom. I think when I went to the bathroom, he had already gotten up from the back booths and got ready to get called on stage to do the roast thing.
Yeah.
So he wasn't there, so I didn't pass him. I don't think he would recognize me. We never really formally met. I went to one of his shows, one of them that you performed at that dive bar in North Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And we talked, we said hello, but I don't think he would have recognized me. Maybe, I don't know.
So Shuddy, did you know this information before or after the show was already done?
Before.
Oh fuck.
Well, I don't know. So the post that I saw was he posted before the show, but so I saw it sometime during the day on Saturday.
Okay, damn, yeah. Dude, we should have gotten a heads up. You should have given Kevin a heads up.
Well, how would I know? I didn't know you guys were going. I don't get.
I mean, I wouldn't have bailed on Cheech's. I wouldn't have bailed on Cheech's birthday over it.
Do you think it would have been worse to know in advance? Do you think
probably, yeah.
That you would have stressed about it?
I wouldn't have stressed. I would have just been like, God damn it. All right, let's fucking get this over with.
Oh, I would have been perfectly acceptable if you bailed.
No, come on, I'm not going to do that.
If Cheech, if you told, if we knew that Jason Ellis was going up there and Kevin, or you were like, Cheech, I don't want to go anymore. Cheech would have been yeah, I get it.
No, I wouldn't have been a baby and bailed on you guys.
I don't think
you want me to work at becoming a good enough fighter so I can defend your honor.
Dude, be his champion and beat Jason Ellis up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Should I train to be Kevin's champion?
Hasn't Ellis been training for 20 years?
Yeah.
You got a lot of catching up to do, man.
Yeah, all you have to do, Shuddy Boy, is wait 30 years for him to be in his 80s and you not to be. Yeah.
Well, he started training around this time your age, right? So by the time you get to his age, you'll be ready to fuck him up.
Yeah, but talk about an awkward night. Holy shit.
It was fun up until then. The restaurant was pretty good. Like you said, the comedians they did a pretty good job. Attell is always good. So it was fun, but man, that was really weird.
How was his set?
I mean, he got a huge reaction from the crowd. He did well.
Dude, I feel like...
Did he get any reactions from you?
Me personally?
Yes.
I mean... Look, I'm a fucking terrible liar. Yeah, it was a good set. Yeah. If we were still homies and I was there and I talked to him afterwards, I would have been like, awesome set, dude. Can't fucking lie to you.
Is there, and you can plead the fifth, but if Jason Ellis, if he was to eat a healthy dose of crow and apologize, is there a path to any sort of even slight reconciliation?
No.
that bridge is completely burned for good.
Oh yeah. As far as I'm concerned,
And
yeah.
I mean, and I'm not talking about working together. I'm just talking like
No,
forgiving and bygones be bygones, not like, oh, Kevin, come back to let's reconcile and come back to the show. I just mean like straight up reconciliation. You can be on good terms. Like,
no, I have no interest.
Okay.
I mean, it's one thing to blow all your money and fire me, but then to go on a show where I have no rebuttal, and then to like cover your own ass by trashing me, saying I don't bring anything to the table, and then just straight up fucking making up lies, saying that I'm reaching out to people telling them not to do Ellis Mania. It's like, pick your fucking lane. You fire me because you don't have any money and do the whole like apologetic, like, oh, I wish I didn't have to, blah, blah, blah. But then speak on the other side of your mouth and lie and fucking insult me. I'm like I said when it happened, I'm not putting any effort into like starting wars or any shit like that. But no, if you fucking burn me like that, you can go fuck yourself for forever.
That's fair. I was just curious.
No, I'm
like if he would have come up to you after the show and been like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're here. What'd you think? I mean, I know you would be cordial, but like I just was wondering if that could ever be repaired.
No. That is
so the only option is for me to bulk up and become your champion.
Wait, why?
Because then
there needs to be justice somehow. Yeah. We need to get a Kevin W somehow. What if hold on.
If forgiveness is off the table, then that only leaves war.
What if I go to one of the Halloween shops and they post up around October? I get a ghost face mask. Then I hit up Home Depot, and then
let's not make those jokes. God forbid something happens.
No,
I still wouldn't win. I still wouldn't win the fight.
My whole approach is the same as it has been since this whole thing happened. My effort is going into my own shit. I don't need a champion to fucking go after him. I don't need people going after him. I don't need people to choose a side. You either listen to MSPH or him, but one or the other. Like, I don't give a fuck if people in the Puminati still listen. I'm not gonna, like, again, that's effort that could be better spent on my own shit. I am a fairly vengeful guy, but in this situation, it's like, I don't know, I got out of Shawshank. I'm just happy that happened.
Turn the page, start a new chapter in your professional life.
Exactly.
You haven't been butthurt or down on anything you got going on since leaving the Ellis show, since the Ellis show thing ended for you. So at least not around me. So
no.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if that never happened, I wouldn't have had the time to put into making a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
premieres. May 8th.
Yeah.
Sorry.
May
launch
8th,
into commercial mode.
The official premiere date. And it's like it's still at that phase where I have no idea what's going to happen with this fucking movie. It's like there are many, many instances of indie films getting shot, completed, and then they just fucking die. They don't go anywhere. They don't sell. No one buys them. I mean, even what would be a losing battle of, all right, just put it up on iTunes and Prime and try to make the budget back with rentals and purchases and stuff. Like, I heard that there are some movies that Prime and iTunes will just be like, nah, we're not even going to host you on our shit.
You said iTunes. That's not a thing anymore, right?
Apple TV?
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, where do you rent movies if you don't? I guess there's the like Fandango. It used to be Vudu, and now it's Fandango at home.
I think there's a sick program. I think you can get Morpheus and you can get everything for free, really.
Well, I would prefer my movie not to launch via Morpheus.
LimeWire, I think, and you can get whatever you want, really.
But then again, so that was just something that somebody told me. That, like, you know, there's a last-ditch effort of putting it up for rental, but then there are even times where you get denied. But there's this guy, so I don't even know, Shuddy Boy, if this would be on Dom's radar, but there are these classic bombs that have gained cult followings, you know, like The Room, like Troll 2, like Samurai Cop. So there's this guy who was, I guess, a successful real estate dude. And he always wanted to be a screenplay writer. He always wanted to be a filmmaker. And he had made so much money in real estate that he was just like, you know what? I'm done knocking on the door. I'm kicking this motherfucker in and I'm doing it myself. And he self-funded, wrote and directed and starred in a handful of movies. And they are notoriously bad. Like, you know, stuff that you and your friends would make in high school with a camcorder. But those are all on Prime. And I have a feeling if streamers pass on John Cooper, the people that accepted this guy's movies are in no position to turn down John Cooper.
Well, I mean, it's going to get sold for a lot of money, so we don't even need to have this conversation.
The guy's name is Neil Breen. Breen.
Nice.
He's got movies called Double Down, I Am Here, ... Now, Fateful Findings, Twisted Pair. He's got a lot of them, and he did them all himself.
He's got 7 of them.
And these posters are really entertaining. I've been wanting to watch one of this guy's movies because I've watched the trailers, and if you're like myself, Shuddy and Dom, where you can get into, you know, a crappy movie for the laughs, this is what you're looking for. But unfortunately, there's no rent options.
Oh my God.
What's up, Shuddy?
I'm watching the trailer or something for one of them, and holy shit. It is garbage.
So, yeah, I have seen John Cooper. I know for a fact it will not be worse than these movies.
Yeah.
I can say that with full confidence.
How many John Cooper dicks would you suck?
Oh, 5. Come on.
All right, cool.
Oh, what do you have for us, Shuddy?
So,
is this like a little...
Everything is green screen.
People
Let's go to another scene. Like,
oh, there he is. That's the man himself. That's him.
Look at that.
You're legit. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I mean, obviously I can't compete with a budget like this. Oh.
Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. Who looks at that and be like, you know what? I'm gonna release this somewhere to the world.
Let's picture lock this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am confident that this will be a movie where, worst case scenario, if it has to go up by rentals only, then so be it. You will be able to see it. So there you go. There you go. I feel that I am pregnant with a poop. So perhaps.
So let's not talk about our feelings.
No.
We're guys.
I have to go and make a duty, to put it delicately. So, thank you everybody so much for listening. And if you need more MSPH in your life, please, I strongly suggest you check out our Patreon. It's very active. Lots of stuff going up. I've heard that a couple bangers of Jeff's snack attacks have dropped. So
Speaking of, please hold. I forgot I have something vital. Well, I don't know.
Ooh.
What have you done recently on Snack Attack, Jeff? Have you?
I reviewed Cheech's birthday cookies that my lady made him, and she is a exquisite baker. Had
So
something
nothing
else
from
too.
the National Biscuit Company.
No.
I shall return. Please hold.
Wait, are we about to get a live snack attack from Shuddy on the free show?
Really, anything could be happening.
Whoa.
Just gotta hold, see what he comes up with.
All right. So yeah, patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Pop a cork in your poop.
Yeah, I'm breaking into a sweat here, but lots of good stuff there. And fellow movie nerds on the Movie Night with Kevin Patreon this week.
Churro, nice.
Shuddy's got churro. All right, I'll acknowledge them so you put them down. Shuddy has churro Oreos. Are you cracking into those right now?
Are there 2 creams in there?
It looks like it's sort of double stuffed. It's not 2 creams. It's churro flavored cream. It's regular cream on a vanilla cookie.
All right, Shuddy is taking a bite. It sounds delicious. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of fresh Oreo limited flavors.
So, as always, not the biggest fan of the vanilla cookie.
Oh, I do like the vanilla cookie.
Oh, actually, the fried dough flavored cookie with churro flavored cream.
Whoa. That sounds kind of epic.
I tried the dirt. What is it? Dirt cake Oreo cookies. You ever had dirt cake when you were a kid?
Yeah, so you had Oreo flavored Oreos.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that was how I felt when they had cookies and cream ones. I was like, isn't that Oreo?
These are good. I prefer the chocolate cookie, but.
And not the fried dough!
I'm not getting fried dough.
I mean, you just got to lean into everything churro if you're going to do a churro Oreo. So I get it.
It's really good, though. It is solid. But it's a middle tier Oreo. It's not It's not an upper echelon. But it's very good. I mean, is there really a bad Oreo?
There was one, but I can't remember what it was. It was like
it was the peppermint ones, right?
Oh, it was the Pop Rocks one that we didn't like.
Yeah, but it was a peppermint Pop Rocks, wasn't it? Wasn't it a peppermint?
I don't know. But
or it was cherry cola. Cherry cola was what it was, I think.
The Movie Night with Kevin Patreon has finished its first month. I miscounted the Fridays, so I ended up doing 6 movies. And it was like the movies that had the biggest impact on me. And now moving on, that it's April, 2nd month of the Patreon, a new theme, 80s action, kicking it off, of course, with Die Hard.
When you said Fridays at first, I was like, wait, what? You did Friday? That's pretty sweet.
So this Friday's episode is going to be on Die Hard. So if you're a Die Hard fan, it'll be worth a listen. Trust me. Patreon.com/Movie Night with Kevin. Check it out, please. You can also watch this on YouTube, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Every subscribe, like, and comment helps. So if you have a spare 30 seconds in your day, we'd very much appreciate it. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, you can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeff R. Records.
At MSPH Podcast and at John Cooper Movie. And if you have Letterboxd, a.k.a. Letterboxd, throw The Second Coming of John Cooper on your watch list, please. And if you don't have it, you should download Letterboxd. It's pretty sweet. Make an account.
And then put The Second Coming of John Cooper on your watch list.
Exactly. And if you are a sports junkie, check out Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark.
Yeah, gonna probably do some. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I thought I heard you fart. You were leaning in a way, and then I heard a.
No, it was his butt plug.
Oh.
I think it was my desk squeaking. I think I'm gonna fire up some NBA podcasts this week. even though the NBA has been just god awful to me this year. College basketball is winding down, but we get the Masters next week. I'll definitely be doing a Masters podcast, so look out for that if you guys are into golf betting. But yeah, that's on the docket for Outkick Bets in the near future.
Hell yeah. Check it out. All right, to our Patreon subscribers, we'll see you in a few minutes. And to everybody else, thank you for listening. But until next time, something.